Greetings, Glitter Gang! Welcome back to Kathryn Scraps Live. My name is Kathryn. I'm going to be crafting live tonight, October 13th, 2022. We just finished the binding of the 2020 Christmas in July album. So, like, small cheer, yeah, for that because, you know, at least it looks finished, right? It looks like it's finished. Okay. So, basically what we're going to do now is we're going to do the inside of these green things. And we're going to try and finish them tonight if we can. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to work until 11. At 11, whatever's done is what's going to be done. And then, so if we don't see all of them, we don't see all of them. That's just them's the breaks, I guess. And then at 11, I will do a detailed flip through of this album all by itself on a dedicated video, so that if you just want to see the album, if there's anything you want to refer back to, look at, whatever, there will be a video of that for you. So the main thing is, I believe these are 5.5 by 8.5, right? Yeah, so these are 5.5 by 8.5, which means that they're not really a great size for putting 5 by 7 enlargements in, like I said earlier we might do. But that's okay because we'll just have room for more 4 by 6 photos, which is fine because 4 by 6 photos are cheaper anyways. And then these are 3.5 by 3.5. So what I'm going to do with these is the same thing I did earlier with the journaling tabs. I'm just going to make 4 3.25 inch square journaling spots, so that we'll just have all of those flaps will be a little journaling spot. And then we'll just start with that, get that done, and then we'll go from there. I know, I don't know what monster lives here and is just like roasting everyone 24/7. I mean, we live in Florida. It is what it is. You know, you just, at a certain point, you just have to accept. It's going to be hot. You're going to need the AC. Okay, so I'm going to cut 2 3.25 inch strips off this. And then I'm going to cut those down into each into 2 3.25 inch squares. I mean, the AC is running. I can hear it. It's just hot. It's just, this room is not, it's the lights and the fact that I have to sit closer to the lights than the AC. You know what I mean? That's really what does it. To make this room to where the lights didn't heat it up to where I was really hot, I'd probably have to make this room like 60 degrees. I wonder if TV studios are super cold then. They'd probably have to be, or else the actors would be sweating all the time. I wonder if then, like, the people working on the crew have to wear like jackets inside all year. Now I have a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions about the attire of the cameramen. Okay. So let's do a tape bracelet with all of these. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this album is done, and it's so beautiful. It's one of the prettiest albums I've done, I think. I really do. Like, just really, really happy with it. So I have this like arc. This arc I do with all my albums where there's a point in the middle where I just hate them and I want to set them on fire, and then at the end I love them again once I'm kind of mostly done. So I've now passed the like burn it with fire phase, and now I'm into the, oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. Let's be together forever phase. So. Oh, you're so generous, Ella. You're so kind and generous. Okay, you'll give it lots of love. Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to cut these apart and glue them to each of the 4 flaps. And then we'll need 8 photo mats, and I think I might have 8 photo mats ready to go. That would be nice. Thank you so much, Barbara Jean. That's very kind of you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Well, I have 6 of them, or 4 of them right here. So if I don't have enough in my bags, I know I at least have 4 right there if I don't have 4 in the bags. The real question is, what did Kathryn do with the bags? Okay. All right, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I have 8. So let's just tape these real quick while we're doing it, and then they'll be ready to go. All right, so just do that. And if you're wondering why there's Eiffel Towers on the back of my photo mats, it's because I do print photo mats on the back of digital papers that I printed for other books, but that didn't get used in their books, so that they don't go to waste. And I mean, I could recycle them, but this is just another, I think reuse is better than recycling. You know, if reuse isn't an option, then recycling is great. But if you can reuse, I think that's a little bit better. And this is a way to reuse. So one of the things that the hurricane did is it put to the test, there is a off-grid, not off-grid, they are on, or carbon neutral, carbon zero community that was also designed to be climate resistant and climate change resistant in Fort Myers. And so this was the first major storm it's been through. And when I tell you, they didn't lose power. They did not lose power. The eye of the hurricane passed over them, and they did not lose power. They did not lose their roofs. They did not flood. They actually, it worked. Everything that they planned, it did work. They picked like special plants, shrub systems that would like form like barriers around the properties against, like their landscaping is done with these special shrubs that keep floods from rising into your property. And they worked. They did do that. I mean, their damage was like maybe a tree fell over and hit something. Like it was very minimal. Their damage was so minimal. The solar panels didn't even get damaged. Their damage was so minimal that even though the eye of the hurricane passed over them, they were able to be an emergency shelter. They were able, because their school had power from their solar panels. And this is the 5th worst hurricane to make landfall or something like that. So it was a big test. Hey, my sweet nugget, how are you? And I was reading about them, and they said that Florida Power and Light manages their solar panels. And I was like, oh my gosh, I miss Florida Power and Light. Florida Power, yes, it's a whole community. Yeah, it's a whole community. So it was a good test for the community, for sure. So yeah, it's amazing. But like every part of the community is planned around these catastrophic storms and around reducing their carbon footprint year round, right? So like I said, they picked these special shrubs that form like walls, you know, that prevent water from getting in your, that kind of stuff. So yeah, they were totally fine. They were totally fine. So that's good, because now that has been tested and proven, like those things that they're doing can make their way into other communities that get built, or when the other communities are being rebuilt or redesigned after the storm. It's good to have these real world tests, because you can think you're going to be fine, and then, you know, the hurricane shows you that you're unprepared in some way. Oh my gosh. No, don't fall down. Aw, buddy, you fell down. How you doing, kid? How your feet? My curtains are torn. Marcel got halfway up. He got a good 5 feet off the ground. And then he lost his grip and he fell down. And now my curtain is torn, but that's okay. That's okay. I don't care about the curtain as much as your feet. The curtain is hideous, so. And it's only to dampen sound, so it's not really for anything. But, so that was really cool. But yeah, when I lived in Miami, Florida Power and Light was my power company. They're so good. I mean, I've never had such positive feelings about my power company before. And I remember one time when we lived there, Florida Power and Light emailed everyone and said, oh, because we converted this power plant to a hydrogen, or to a hydro, that made the power grid more efficient. And now we're saving a ton of money. So you're all getting a permanent discount on your kilowatt hours going forward. And we were just like, what? Just like, you're just gonna give us money? And then when stop it. Do you want to die? He's literally chewing on this. Marcel, we've talked about this, buddy. You have to be careful with your face. So anyway, but yeah, Florida Power and Light was really interesting, because the other thing, when we lived in Miami, that was really interesting about them is that they had HVAC was on a separate grid from all the other power. And you could get a discount on your power, a permanent discount on your power, if you would sign up to be part of a program where Florida Power and Light at their discretion could turn off your HVAC. And that would be done to prevent brownouts or blackouts. And they said that no one person's HVAC unit would ever be turned off for more than 15 minutes at a time. And that you probably wouldn't even notice if they engaged the system. And so we signed up for it because, you know, why not? And they're right, I never noticed. If they ever did it the whole time we lived there, I never noticed. And I just thought that was such smart planning. So, all right. Now it's a little bit harder because we have to work in the album itself, which is not ideal, but we'll get through it. But I looked, I was trying to explain, you know, Florida Power and Light and how smart they are and how it totally makes sense that that's who this community would choose to be in charge of their solar panels. And I said they're probably the best power company, the best rated power company in Florida. I would be shocked if there was any power company rated higher than them. And then I looked it up, and they're the best rated power company in the country. So, okay then. So they are in fact the best rated power company in Florida. So, but yeah, so this is one of those things where it's like, why can Florida Power and Light not just do all the power? Why are we messing around? And even in the Tampa area, we have TECO, and then the other company here is Duke Energy, and like Duke Energy is so much worse than TECO. Like people are always like, on the Tampa subreddit, everyone with Duke Energy is always miserable. And so it's just like, again, why why is it like this? Why can't we just all have Florida Power and Light? That's what I want to know. All right. So we've got that down. And then now all we have to do is cut 5 1/4 by 8 1/4 paper to line the insides. And then we can add these photo mats and we'll be done. So we may even get it done. We've got 22 minutes, friends. 22 minutes. All right. Let's do this. I just need 4 designs. 1, 2. Don't want to use this because it's kind of dark and it's already, you know, on the outside. 3, 4. So we only need 4. I'm just going to quickly look and see if there's any I like better. Okay. So I like this and I like this more than I like this and more than I like this. So these are our 4. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just quickly cut these 2 5 1/4 by 8 1/4 pieces out of each of these. And then we can start matting and adding our photo mats. All right. Alrighty. All right, so here's 2 more. So Donna says, we looked into solar power heater for our pool and our power company said no. 20 years ago wouldn't let us do it. Systems like that need to be in place before they plug millions of electric cars in. Well, and just ultimately my question is, if there's a power company in the state that's kicking the butts of all the other power companies, you know, it doesn't make sense to not just have them be the state power company. Now, it could be that once they became the state power company, they would start sucking, you know, that's entirely possible. But, you know, I don't think they compete like that really. So I don't know. Yeah, that reminds me of, is it Bill Maher who has that counter of days without solar, like days he's been waiting to get permission from California to install solar on his property, and it's like years worth of days, like thousands and thousands of days. I think that's who does it. Like, if I have a house in Florida, it's illegal to be completely off the grid. So even if you build a completely off-grid property where you don't need the city's power, you still have to be hooked up to the city's power. Now, luckily, most power companies have... Oh, he finally got it a couple months ago? Wow. Good job. All right, so we've got all of them. So now we just need a tape ink stick. Yeah, now they buy the excess energy back from you. So I was just going to say that at least if you have to be connected to the grid, the power companies have donation programs. And so what happens is you can sell your extra off-grid power to the city, and you just, instead of you writing them a check every month, they write you a check every month. Oh, Bill Maher, the what's his show called now? It used to be called Politically Incorrect, like 20 years ago. Real Time? Real Time. I think it's Real Time. On HBO. Real Time, Real Talk. Something like that. You can tell I keep up with it. So. Oh, well, yeah, of course, real time. Okay, thank you. Yeah, Barbara Jean, they're not going to pay you any actual, like, what it's actually worth. Because they're the phone company and they don't have to. Or wait, we're the phone company and we don't care? Ring, dingy, ding. All right. Okay, so all right. So because these don't have magnets, I am just going to take the ATG and use it to stick them down because they're not under the same kind of pressure as they would be if they had magnets. Like, I know, Marcel, that's a weird noise. It's a weird noise. I know. Oh, okay. Marcel, stop scratching your face on my... He's using this to scratch his cheek. Marcel, I really think you're the one who stole the other one, aren't you? You are, aren't you? And you let me blame the cleaners when it was you the whole time. Marcel, you're sitting where people need to be working. Did you know that? Did you know that? Do you care? Do you even care? You don't care. You don't. You don't. You don't. You don't care. You don't. Marcel. Thank you. Okay. Yep. No, that's okay. I'll just work around you. Yeah, I'm going to find where he hides everything. Aw, thank you, buddy. What a sweet baby. Thank you. Aw, what a sweet baby. Guys, he brought this to me and put it on my foot as a present. Isn't he the kindest little creature? Hey, buddy. I know, it's boring. It's boring. There's not as much paper tonight as there usually is for you. Yeah. One day we're going to find like a little box somewhere, and it's going to have 3,000 paper scraps and that tool. All right. We're going to make it. We're going to make it. Can you believe it? We're going to make it. We're going to make it. The book's going to be done before 11. I can't. We're going to have whole minutes to spare. Whole minutes. No. All right. All right, so last one. Last one. Can you believe it? Now you could decorate the album a little bit further in that on the front cover, or not on the inside front cover, you could put some of those letters from the collection. And I did talk about adding tags to these pockets as well, because there are those tags in the collection that are so beautiful, and I think that would look really nice. I'm not gonna, you know, have time to do that, but we are, those are other things I would suggest, you know, like especially the tags, because there's 6 tags in this collection, and you could put, you know, 1 or 2 in each of these books. And that would look, I'm talking about these pockets here, and I'm talking about specifically in terms of tags, these tags that came with the collection. I think it'd be great to cover the backs with lined paper and stick these in the pockets, because you've got 12 of them. So you put 3 in each of these pockets, because you have 4 of these pockets. And I think that would be great. So you're so welcome, Beverly. Thank you so much, Mandy. Thank you, everyone. It's been fun. I've had a good time. So what I'm going to do now that this is finished is I'm going to do one more recording break, and we'll do a flip through of the album to see everything and go over everything, so that you have one overview video that you can refer back to it as needed. All right. Oh my goodness. Wow, we did it. We did it. All right. So with that, the tutorial portion of the 2022 Christmas in July book, which I'm now calling the Joy to the World album, that's its name, with the split decision binding, is complete. Look at the size of it. Look at the size of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a recording break here in the next video. I'm going to do a overview of the entire album, a detailed overview of the entire album, so that that's on its own video. So for those of you who are watching live, just hang tight. Nothing's going to change for you. For those of you who are watching in the playlist, check the next video in the playlist or the next video in the archives if you're watching in the archives to see the like detailed overview of the whole project. Thank you so much for watching. Remember that I am live every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern USA time and 9 p.m. Eastern USA time. There is always a time zone converter linked in the video description if you are watching on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me for this project. Remember that our next project is going to be the coffin album. I lost the coffin. Here it is. This is going to be the page. This is the page template for the coffin album. So we are going to have coffin shaped pages, coffin shaped covers. We are going to use the infinity binding, not this one. This is split decision. We're going to use infinity binding, which is a different binding. And that's what we're going to start next week, October 20th, 2022. So thank you so much for joining me for this project. I had a wonderful time. I hope you all have fun putting it together and getting your Christmas albums ready way ahead of time. And I will see you in the next video. Bye now.